Hello. It may have taken a while to start there. It is I, once again, Jordan, aka Def Cos, One Piece fanboy personified extraordinaire. I am here today for my reread review of One Piece Volume 15. That'll be the the thumbnail. Yeah. Okay. So I just reread this, and we are really getting into territory of One Piece that I am having trouble remembering. So rereading this volume, I remembered some of it. I'm not going to go as far as to say it was like reading it for the first time. Damn, I feel like my camera's kind of dark. I'm gonna turn on this lamp here. I think that's a little better. Um, I won't go as far as to say that it was like reading it for the first time, but there was definitely a lot of instances that I had completely forgotten. And that's what's going to happen from here on out. The earlier volumes I have a good memory of just because I owned those volumes when I was a kid, so I reread them a bunch of times. But like starting from like here, like book 15 forward, I really my memory is hazy. My memory is hazy. I remember like major plot points and certain things like I remember, but a lot of it I don't. So that's why I'm doing this once again. We're going to reread it and analyze it and talk about it. So yeah. So oh yeah, and just on a side note, the Viz translation of chapter 1045 dropped today. I reread it. Well, I guess I read the official translation for the first time, but I reread the chapter. Still a cool chapter. Really fun to see Luffy's powers on display. His new powers, his new goofy powers. Um, so I'm really excited for chapter 1046. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I imagine it'll be the end of the fight, if not very close to the end of the fight between Luffy and Kaido. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit, so I'll do a reaction when that time comes. But for today, let's talk about volume 15. So let's get right into it. I'll read the foreword. So this is actually part two of the forward from last time. And it says, continued from the previous volume. Ka, shouted the ninja. Batan. And the older students collapsed in a heap. It was the famous Kanashibari Jutsu technique. After that, he stunned us by stopping someone's heart from beating and showing photos from his years of training. We were in total awe. Then the ninja said, actually, I could stand upside down on the ceiling of this hall for 5 hours, but we don't have time today. I saw the ninja. He wasn't kidding. Ichiro Oda 2000. All right, so let's get into the volume. Oh, yeah, so now we're doing the cover story of Django's cover story. It actually started in the last volume, uh, but um, but yeah, that's the cover story now. Okay, so we pick up where we left off. Bragi is crying, I think, because he thinks Dory is dead. But then Dory shows up. He's wounded, but he's alive. As to be expected. Okay, so I put a post-it note here. Let's see here. Why did I put a post-it note here? I just did it. Oh yeah, I think it was to talk about how in this instance, right here, Bragi hugs Dory. Like he loves him so much. It's his good friend. And then in the next page, they get ready to fight again. And it's just funny how they have that relationship. Like, I guess that's just how the Giants act. Like, um, just because they're fighting each other to the death doesn't mean that they don't love each other. So I think that's a cool trait that they have. And I think that's part of what Usopp admires about them. Oh yeah, so we go to Sanji, who is having a conversation with Crocodile over the Denden Mushi, and Crocodile thinks that he's Mister Three. I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know why like Crocodile wouldn't recognize Mister Three's voice. Um, I guess I don't know. I don't know if Sanji is putting on like a different voice right now, or what's going on with that. But he seems to completely believe that Sanji is Mister Three during their conversation here. Then the Unluckies show up again, and Sanji fights with them briefly. Oh yeah, I actually remember this scene in the anime when uh when Sanji cracks the vulture's neck. I think what's the vulture's neck? What's the vulture's name again? I forget what the vulture's name is. Miss something. The otter is Mr. 13. What was the vulture? I forget. I just read it not too long ago too. Um, oh, so here we get a glimpse at Crocodile's powers. He's like drying out the flour. You can see the water in the cup drain, and he's like drying out the flour. Um, so we get a glimpse at his powers right there, and I feel like we get some good glimpses at what he looks like. Like he's not really. I mean, he is in silhouette or far away and kind of obscured, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just because I know exactly what he looks like that it's not hard for me to tell based on what the drawings are here. But I don't know. We're not. He's not really hiding Crocodile's design that much. I feel like in these panels here. I mean, I guess he is. So then Nico Robin is back with Crocodile, and Crocodile tells Nico Robin to send Mister Two to Little Garden to kill Mister Three. But he thought Sanji was Mister Three. So yeah, so Sanji kind of sabotaged Mister Three there a little bit. Okay, so then we cut to Smoker and Tashigi, who have captured Mr. 11, and they're on their way to Alabasta as well. Then we cut back to the Giants and the Straw Hats. Sanji finally rejoins them, and they get ready to leave. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here, just because once it, oh shit, there we go. Just because once again, Usopp mentions, "Goodbye, masters. One day I shall go to Elbaf." He says it right in this panel here, and I mean, I don't know. I imagine they're going to Elbaf. I mean, I keep bringing it up in like all these videos. I'm like wondering what the next arc is gonna be. A lot of people seem to think it's gonna be Elbaf. They foreshadow Elbaf a lot. They keep saying we're gonna go to Elbaf. They want to see the Giants. So I guess they're gonna go to Elbaf at some point. Unless Oda just changes his mind and decides that they don't go to Elbaf. But that would be a bummer because we've seen Giants throughout the story so much. We've talked about Elbaf quite a bit. It seems like we need to see Elbaf. Um, so yeah, so I mean I'm still unsure if it's gonna be what happens next, but It might be. It might be. If it's not what happens next, I don't know when it could possibly happen, unless there's something else happens and then they go to Elbath. I can't. I don't think Elbath is between Lodestar. So no, yeah. So it has to. It has to happen before Lodestar, I think. Um, so yeah. So I guess that's why everybody's saying it has to be the next arc, because if it's before Lodestar, and we're nearing the end of One Piece, then it's got to be the next arc. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm very curious to know what happens after Wano. Very eager. Oh yeah, so here we get the Straw Hats that are getting ready to leave Little Garden. They got the Eternal Pose from Sanji. I guess he got it from Mr. Three's house. The Eternal Pose to Alabasta, so they don't have to stay on Little Garden for a year to reset the log pose. So they start to leave, and then the giants are waiting for them at the edge of the island, like on the shore there. And then a giant sea king shows up. We see him like emerging from the water there. And he's the eater of islands, I think they call him. The island eater. There he is. And so he's like in the way of the Straw Hats, and the giants are like, oh, don't worry, just sail straight forward, sail straight forward. And so that's what they do. And then the giants uh, do Hakoku sovereignty. And this kind of surprised me a little bit because I actually remembered that they did this. I remember that they did this attack, the like dual attack. They both slash at the same time and send like an energy beam that goes through the Sea King. I forgot that they called it Hakaku sovereignty though. Cause that's Big Mom's technique, the Ikoku sovereignty. That's what Big Mom does all the time. Um, and then when Big Mom and Kaido not too long ago did their double attack and Zoro blocked it, and that fucked Zoro up really bad. But they did the I think it was called the Ocean sovereignty. So yeah, well, I guess it kind of makes sense because Big Mom did spend some time on Elbath. I'm just now realizing that. Oh yeah, so Big Mom spent time on Elbath. Maybe that's where she got the sovereignty attack from. Because here Dorian Bragi are doing it. Okay, so maybe that's what happened. But yeah, but they kill this. They kill the Sea King, and the Straw Hats sail through, and they break their weapons. Right here, they break. The attack was too much for their weapons to handle. So yeah, so that's pretty awesome right there. One Piece is so fucking dope. I love the Giants so much. Rereading this, like I remember when I was a kid and I was reading this, I didn't think the Little Garden arc was that amazing, but rereading it, I really enjoyed it. I definitely really enjoyed it, and I really like Dory and Bragi. I think they're awesome characters. I would love to see them again. Um, Maybe they've made their way to Elbath at this point in the current manga. So yeah, so it would be really cool if they actually did go back to or went to Elbath and met with Dorian Bragi again. I wonder what would happen at Elbath though, because we would have to advance the plot while spending time at Elbath. So maybe Big Mom will go back to Elbath as well. And maybe we'll have the final showdown with Big Mom at Elbath or something like that. Um, because after they defeat Kaido, they have to defeat Big Mom too in order to become Pirate King. in order for Luffy to become Pirate King, like he has to defeat Big Mom as well. And Big Mom has been defeated in Wano, but she hasn't been um she's been delayed. She hasn't really been defeated. Like Law and Kid were able to take her out, but not she's not dead or anything. Like she's still gonna come back, presumably, and her entire crew is still. I mean, except for Perospero. Perospero got owned by Nekomamushi, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was Nekomamushi. Yeah, it was Nekomamushi, and so Perospero might be down and out, but the rest of her crew, like fucking Smoothie and like Daifuku and Oven, all those people, they're still around. So um, yeah, maybe the Big Mom crew will follow the Straw Hats to Elbaf, and then we'll have the conclusion of like the fight between the Straw Hats and the Big Mom crew at Elbaf. Maybe maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Um, okay, so they leave Little Garden. Oh yeah, Zoro is training. This is kind of awesome the way Zoro trains. That's all Zoro ever does. Like when he just trains, sleeps, and drinks. That's all he ever does. Oh yeah, Nami gets sick. Nami comes down with a fever, which makes them have to postpone their journey to Alabasta in order to find a doctor for Nami because she's the navigator. She's like a crucial member of the crew. They need her in order to sail. Oh, and we get Mr. Two Bon Clay. Um, we get Bon Clay's first appearance right here. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, so Nanji. I saw Sanji and Nami at the same time. Nami is really sick. Put a post-it note here. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here just because um, this panel is kind of interesting. It's like right here, this panel here. Luffy says, "Does it hurt to be sick?" And then Usopp and Sanji say, "I don't know. I've never been sick." And it's like, oh shit, really? Like you've never been sick? Like how does that work? And then even Vivi's surprised. She's like, "Are you people even human?" And it's like, okay, like I get that the Straw Hats are all really strong, but to the point where they've never been sick. I mean, I guess Luffy, I can kind of see. Sanji, I guess I could kind of see, but Usopp, I feel like Usopp should have had a cold at some point. Um, but I guess not. I've never been sick. That's so interesting. Okay, so here we go. Oh, Vivi gets the newspaper report that 300,000 soldiers have defected from the royal army and joined the rebels at Alabasta. So shit is kind of hitting the fan in Alabasta. So they really need to get there like ASAP. It's so interesting how Vivi, like at this point, like I remember like reading One Piece at this point. I thought Vivi was just a straw hat at this point. Like I was just like, oh well, yeah, well Vivi is part of the crew. Like she's a member of the Straw Hats now. But then, of course, as we know, she doesn't join the Straw Hats in the end. At the end of the Alabasta arc, she stays at Alabasta, which makes sense. But it's funny how much of a part of the crew she was at this point. Like she was literally like a member of the crew. Okay, so they oh, this is an interesting moment. They run into Chess, one of Walpole's henchmen, He's just standing on the ocean, it looks like. I think Chet has a really cool design. I think he just looks so dope. Like a lot of Oda's characters, of course. Um, but he just looks really cool with his bow and arrow and just the way, like his face and his clothes. He just looks really cool, I think. And they're just like staring at him, like, what's going on? Then Wapol's ship shows up, and here we get the first introduction of Wapol, who is the main antagonist for this arc, and he has a cool design too. I remember watching on YouTube, like a lot of people were saying that they don't like Wapol, or like I guess maybe they thought the Island arc wasn't that good, and that they think Wapol is kind of a shitty villain. I'm still at the beginning of the Drum Island arc at this point. I mean, I've read it before, obviously, but from what I remember, I thought he was okay. Like, I thought he was cool. He's definitely not like the coolest villain ever, but he looks pretty cool, and his powers are pretty cool. Um, so yeah. Oh yeah, he starts to eat the Mary. It's so crazy how the Mary just gets damaged gradually. Like it makes sense that by the time they get to Enos Lobby, that like, or not Enos Lobby, to Water Seven, that that they have to get a new ship because the Mary is just getting busted. Like Wapo is literally eating it. um, okay. Oh, then uh, Luffy fucking Gun bazookas Wapo, sends him flying. Oh yeah, we get the explanation of the climates of the islands in the Grand Line. How there's like the different seasons and stuff like that. The different how different islands have different seasons. Okay, so we get to Drum Island, and it's like the opposite of Whiskey Peak. Like they don't welcome them. They tell them to fuck off. Oh yeah, and then Vivi gets shot here, which I forgot about. But she kind of gets shot in the head. It doesn't kill her, obviously, but she gets shot. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I thought this moment was pretty funny. I put a post-it note here just because it's when they meet the hiking bear. Right here. Oh right here. They meet the hiking bear while they're going to the village, and and they have to bow to him and stuff. Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. Dalton says this country has no name, but we know it's the Drum Kingdom. It's like it's Drum Island, isn't it? So I'm not sure why he's saying this country has no name. I guess it's because after Walpole left, they like abandoned that name. I guess. I think that's what happened. They were like, "Oh, Walpole's gone, so we're not Drum Island anymore." They don't want to like associate with that name. I guess because if not, I mean, the island definitely has a name. Um, oh yeah, I just put a post-it note here because we get a cool shot of Dalton. I always thought Dalton looked really cool. Right here, he has a really cool design. So many of Oda's characters are just awesome looking. Most of them are really. I would say like 95% of the characters he designs, even nowadays, like he's been doing this for 25 years, he still comes up with awesome original looking characters with really cool designs. I've always been a fan of his art style, a huge fan of his art style. It influenced my art style, really. Check out my art if you get a chance. on Instagram. Afro, AFREAU is my handle on Instagram. I post a bunch of my art on there. I haven't posted in a long time, but I hope to get an art tablet soon. I want to start working digitally. I've mainly worked traditionally in my day, but I definitely want to start working digitally more and doing stuff digitally. Um, so yeah, so I hope to get like an iPad or some kind of art tablet soon and start doing that. I actually want to start working on a new comic. Um, yeah, so I'll definitely keep you updated on that. If anybody cares. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here just because I love this panel. This panel where Nami they decide that they're gonna go climb the mountain to go see Dr. Kureha. And oh, speaking of Dr. Kureha, I thought it was interesting. It was recently announced that Jamie Lee Curtis was interested in playing Dr. Kureha, and I couldn't imagine like a better cast. Like that would be perfect. That would be perfect if Jamie Lee Curtis could play Dr. Kureha. So I hope they make that work. And I don't see why they wouldn't. I really don't see why they wouldn't at this point. Um, but and it seems like she appreciates One Piece. Doesn't seem like she has a huge knowledge of One Piece, which is fine. But it seems like she appreciates it. And I think she said that her favorite character is Chopper, so it would make sense for her to be Dr. Kureha because of that. So yeah, so I'm all on board for Jamie Lee Curtis to play Dr. Kureha. I think that would be amazing. But anyway, they're gonna go see Dr. Kureha, and Luffy has to carry Nami on his back, and this is where Nami and Luffy just agree that that's what they're gonna do, and Luffy just like high five, they just like slap hands, and for some reason this panel I just like it a lot. For some reason, I just like he's like high fiving Nami while she's sick. I don't know, it's just quintessential Luffy right there. I just like that panel. All right, so okay, so they head out. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here because they talk about only a few months ago this country was defeated by pirates, and then they say there were only 5 pirates. The captain called himself Blackbeard. They were immensely powerful. We never had a chance. They defeated us before we knew what hit us. And I had completely forgotten that Blackbeard went to Drum Island. I thought the first time Blackbeard showed up was at Jaya, before they go to Skypiea. That's the first time I remember. Well, I think that's the first time we see him. But I forgot that he got mentioned before that. I'd completely forgotten that. So yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so then let's see here. Oh yeah, here they talk about Vivi says, "Oh, Dalton's like, oh, you know Wapol," and Vivi says, "Yes, I remember him clearly now. When I was a child, my father took me to a meeting of kings, and I met him there." She's talking about the fucking Reverie. She's totally talking about Reverie right there, and that's the first. I guess that's the first time they mention Reverie, or at least they like hint at it. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so Luffy and Sanji are trying to get to the top of the mountain. They run into the Lapins. The Lapins I always thought were pretty awesome. They just look cool. I need to get better at drawing like animals and like weird creatures. The main thing that I'm able to draw kind of okay is just people, just like characters, but I definitely need to get better at drawing like creatures. Um, okay, so Wapple's on his way. Okay, I put a post-it note here. Oh yeah, I put a post-it note here because apparently this kid that this kid right here, wait, that kid right, right there, his name is Tama, and this happens in One Piece sometimes. Characters will run into characters that have the same name. Like it'll be like um secondary characters, characters that aren't that important. Like this kid, this is probably I'm pretty sure this is the only time we see him. And he's definitely like a tertiary character. And but his name is Tama. And we all know there's a character named Tama in the current story, in the current manga, the little girl who has the Kibidanga fruit. Um, so yeah, it's weird that there was already a character named Tama. I wonder if Oda forgot or like what's the deal with that? I mean, I guess her name is Otama, but still, it's the O isn't like actually part of her name. That's just like a Japanese thing. Like anyway. Okay, so here we get the appearance of Dr. Kureha, the first appearance of her, and Chopper for that matter. So yeah, so that's interesting. It's cool. Chopper's kind of like to the side, but he's like the character that's actually going to have an impact on the story. Well, I mean, not that Kureha doesn't, but Chopper is like a future Straw Hat. Um, okay, so yeah, so they find out that Luffy and Sanji are kind of on their way to the top of the mountain for nothing because Kureha isn't there. She's at the village, so they're trying to catch up with Luffy and Sanji while when they're fighting the Lapins. Then Wapple arrives at Drum Island. And we get Chess and Kuromanimo. They look really cool. I think they look really cool. Oh yeah, and then we see Dalton's devil fruit, how he turns into a bison. I guess this is the first time we see a zone devil fruit. I'm pretty sure it is. I guess we've only seen Paramecias up until this point. Oh no, I guess Smoker's a Logia. I'm pretty sure Smoker's a Logia. Um, okay, so Dalton shows up to intercept Wapple. Then he gets he does this cool attack where he takes a lot of them out. Then he gets hit by Chess's arrows. Then we cut back to Sanji and Luffy, and Vivi and Usopp are on their way to meet them. But then there's a big avalanche that is happening. A big fucking avalanche. And that's it. That's the end of volume 15. So yeah, so that's it for volume 15. That was fun as always. I'm such a fan of One Piece. It's like all I think about right now. Like ever since I started doing these videos, like it's just on my mind constantly. I mean, it was always something that I looked forward to. Like the new chapter, I would always look forward to the new chapter. But now I'm looking forward to reading the volumes and talking about them for like over half an hour, like I've been doing. I've been getting very few views, but that's beside the point. Uh, I mean, I would love to get some more views and to talk to people about it, get some comments and stuff like that. Feel free to leave a comment if you happen to be watching this and you're at all intrigued or interested by what I've been talking about. I would appreciate that a lot. Um, but if not, I'll just keep talking to my camera about One Piece, and I'll just keep posting it on YouTube just for funsies, all on my onesies. So yeah, so anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you indeed watched me talk about One Piece for over a half an hour, thank you very much. I will do another video on Wednesday, although I do have some stuff I need to take care of on Wednesday. Um, that's my only day off during the week, so I should be able to find the time to do another video, though, I imagine. So I'll do another video on Wednesday. Then I'll do the chapter reaction, I guess, on Thursday. They've been dropping on Thursday recently, so I'll be doing that. And then I'll do I'll do volume 16 next on Wednesday, and then I'll do volume 17 on next Sunday. Or no, maybe on Saturday. Maybe on Saturday, and then I'll do volume 18 on Sunday. So yeah. So thanks for watching if you indeed watched me. And I will see you in the very near future. Take it easy.